Hello, everybody, and welcome to a special edition of the Playbook. I'm Josh Randall.
I'm Tyler.
And Tyler, today we are honoring the life and the legacy of the late, great Kobe Bryant. Basically, a lot has happened. A lot of details have been provided for us. I think we have the graphic up here. We're going to go over what we know so far about the crash. We know that Kobe Bryant and his 13-year-old daughter, Gianna, and 7 other people on that helicopter did die in the helicopter crash in California. I believe it was over Calabasas. The official cause of the crash has not been determined, but this is what we know so far. The visibility, super low. In fact, I believe the LAPD choppers were even told not to go out how bad visibility was. The helicopter did, however, have still had clearance to fly during that. It was operating under special, quote-unquote, special visual flight rules, which I believe the pilot of the helicopter was trained for. He was specifically trained for. So he was a professional. I don't think he was at fault. I don't think he was at fault in particular. The recovery efforts and the investigation are difficult, and they're struggling to find clues because of the difficult conditions. We don't really know a lot about what happened in particular, but what we do know is that the league and everybody else involved, you didn't even have to be a fan of basketball to feel Kobe's presence in sports, and the whole world itself is moved by this. Tyler, I mean, you have details for us on basically what players are doing and what fans alike are doing.
Well, first, you want to hear something that is going to hit you hard?
Sure.
They found the bodies at the scene. Kobe Bryant was hugging his daughter, dear life.
Mm-hmm. I did hear about that. I don't know if that's confirmed or not. If it is, I don't know what source. It is confirmed.
Okay. They found, it's everywhere there. They found their bodies hugging and stuff. There are some rumors going out saying that they got low enough to the ground. Kobe tried pushing his daughter but couldn't, so he pulled her in close. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's true. Like, he pushed her out to save her, not push her out to kill her, obviously, but they're going too fast. But they went up 20,000 feet in the air above the clouds to get visibility, and next thing you know, something happened, and they went straight down.
Yeah, we were listening to the flight recordings yesterday from the air traffic control in that area. There was a certain point which they were probably too low, even before the crash, that there was no radio transmission whatsoever. So it's very hard to understand what happened in relation to the crash. But I think it's safe to say that this has rocked everybody, sports fans, athletes themselves, celebrities. I think it's honestly, it's been very hard for everybody to, especially after, he was so young. He was 41 years old at the time of his death. And I just think this is something so hard to, think about. One day we have this legend in our lives, and then the next day we don't. I think that's just an absolutely crazy thing to think about. I still can't wrap my mind around it. Tyler, the NBA players themselves have had a lot of tributes, had a lot of things. I think we have a video that's somewhere, I believe it's Pacers and Trailblazers did the, and many other teams alike, did the 24-second and 8-second violations in honor of 24 and 8. Tyler, there's also something with jersey numbers. You want to go over that with us?
Yeah, I'll start with probably the biggest one yet, Trae Young. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you knew this, but he spent 20 seconds of pregame warm-ups crying in his mom's arms, his head in her shoulders, for at least 20 seconds. He never met Kobe, he met Kobe, sorry. Yep. Never played against him. Wasn't even born when Kobe came into the league. Mm-hmm. But it affected him emotionally and really hard. Yep. There was a bunch of players around the league that did all these cool things for Kobe, but Trae Young customized his own jersey to come. He takes his warm-up jersey off, and it says 8 with Young on his back. So he wore Kobe Bryant's number when he came on the court. And they got the tip off, and he stood in the backcourt on his knees with a ball in his hand. You could tell he was emotional right there.
Oh, there's so many
looking
players.
out in the sky, looking out everyone else. And he took an 8-second violation for him. And then later in the game, he hits a half-court buzzer beater, and he immediately points to the sky. And, looks like he's going to fall over, but he just immediately points to the sky. And, it's the thing he was saying about after the game about how, because he wore number 8 for Kobe and stuff, as you know, but Gigi came out and saying that she was his favorite. He was his favorite her favorite player of all people in the league and stuff. So then seeing that stuff about Kobe and her dying, that had to hit Trae Young hard, because Trae and Kobe spent all summer, all offseason training. And just for your mentor and idol to just randomly die, that has to hit you hard.
And I do want to point out also the tributes for Gianna have also been high, or a lot. There's been a definite large amount of them. I remember UConn women's basketball versus the United States team the other day, I believe earlier this week. Both also did the 24 and 8-second violation. The UConn team placed a special jersey, reserved a seat on the bench for Gianna. A lot of it's been crazy, the reaction of the sports world, and just seeing, it doesn't even matter if you were a fan of him or not. I'm sure there were players in the league when he was playing that absolutely hated playing against Kobe, just how good he was, how hard he was to guard. But it doesn't matter now. Everybody is moved by this. Everybody is absolutely heartbroken. I remember hearing Shaq on, I believe, Inside the NBA had a special edition. He hasn't been sleeping as well.
Slept, eaten, or anything. About that topic, I was on that last night watching it because our friend Anthony texted me and said, watch this thing. There's literally all tears happening right now. Mm-hmm. So I went to go watch it, and you can hear in Shaq's voice how hurt he is. Mm-hmm. He's making jokes and stuff, not about Kobe's death, but he's making jokes about how he'll never be able to brag to him about how he's won more rings and mm-hmm. how if they stayed together, they could have won 10. That line itself, you heard him start being a little happy. Mm-hmm. Then mid-sentence of that line, you heard him start cracking and slowly falling apart. And then he's talking about how he lost his mom, his father, and his sister, and Kobe was there for him his entire time. Mm-hmm. Kobe was his brother. Not obviously not biologically, but he was his brother.
And this is one of the reasons why I often refer to Kobe as at least top 3 greatest players of all time, because not only was he a god on the court, but he resembled what it meant to be, I don't want to say a family man in particular, but, he was there. He was there for everybody. He was there for his teammates. He was pushing everybody around him to be the greatest he possibly could. He was there for his family. He was one of the few players at the time to actually devote time to his family. We're seeing that out of LeBron James and stuff now. Very good on him. But Kobe was one of the first people to do that, and Kobe's life Kobe had so much more life outside of basketball too. It was unbelievable. He had charities. I remember seeing the other day, I think it was actually last night's game, AC Milan, the Italian soccer team who Kobe grew up watching, had various tributes in their game versus I think it was Torino last night, and they ended up winning in extra time. Just all around the sports world, it's been ridiculous the amount of tributes and stuff that have been pouring in for Kobe and for the Lakers and the NBA alike. The
Lakers had to postpone their game for Kobe. Mm-hmm. They postponed their game with the Clippers in honor of Kobe Bryant.
And a lot of people were talking about that day when Kobe's death. A lot of people were talking about how the league a lot of people were saying they should have postponed the games that day. I think we all know Kobe would have said play the games, and they did. And it was hard to watch. It truly was, because we had these players on the court literally crying. It was ridiculous. I couldn't watch it. It was hard to watch for me, just seeing the raw emotion devoted to this player. And I think it was one of those things where it's just you look at it and say, that man had such a presence on everybody. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're an NBA pro or you're just a kid in high school or even a kid at the park playing. Kobe was probably your idol, one of them at least. He definitely was. And I think, Kobe's legacy is going to live on forever. I think it will.
Back to what, Trey and a bunch of other players did in the league. Mm-hmm. So, after Trey was wearing that jersey, he then put on a show, scoring 45 points, shooting 13 for 24, mm-hmm. 24 shots he took mm-hmm. for Kobe. I don't know if he did that on purpose or not. And then 6 threes, 14 assists.
Yep.
He spoke out in one final conversation about it. He spoke out about one of the final conversations he had with his men, Kobe. Mm-hmm. He said he was just telling me how much he's seen my game progress and how much he's so happy for me and how much I can improve more. Mm-hmm. And I can just keep getting better from him.
Kobe, he was truly a role model to everybody in the NBA. You hear players from Luka Doncic to Quinn Cook, to even players Kobe's played with. I don't remember who it was exactly, but there was a player saying that Kobe took back the shoes that they had given the team, Lou Williams, because
they got blown out by Portland, and Kobe said they were too soft, so he took out everybody's Kobe's.
That's one of the things that I don't know, but again, as I said earlier, he's pushed everybody around him for greatness, and I mean, we had the game LeBron passed Kobe in scoring, and I feel like it's been crazy, man. This whole week has been crazy. These last couple days in particular have just been, I don't know. It's starting to set in more, but we have truly lost a legend in both sports and just the world alike. Honestly, we truly have.
You want to know something funny?
What?
Guess who was the last person to score 45 points in under 25 shot attempts?
Who?
Kobe Bryant.
Mm-hmm.
2006 against the Washington Wizards,
Mm-hmm.
which Trae Young did it against the Washington Wizards. And guess Trae Young's free throw percentage?
And I guess what? How much?
It was 81%.
81%.
Bringing back the iconic 81-point game against the Raptors.
Mm-hmm.
Trae Young tweeted later that night saying, "He was with me tonight."
Mm-hmm. And he definitely was. He was with everybody. I mean, you saw the tributes. Even if it was something as small as writing a quote or writing the numbers on a shoe. I mean, I remember my brother asked me last night to put Kobe's number on his shoes for his games this weekend, and to put the quote,
I did too.
"Legends are forever." It's one of those things where it affected people of all ages, and you know, now we see. I don't want to say people took it for granted when he was alive, but now we're just seeing the effect that he had on everybody, and it was just. It's unbelievable. Like, we see people, I think it was one of the ESPN analysts, what's her name, Ellie something, right?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, she absolutely broke down, like, mid-sentence because she was talking about the conversations he had with Kobe about having his daughters and stuff like that. It was just, you simply can't hate the man. I don't care if even the Celtics and Lakers, man, that was one of the most bitter rivalries. It still is to this day, but it's one of the most bitter rivalries in basketball. Yet Celtics fans alike and everybody around
Even the
league.
Celtics organization posted something about Kobe.
And we even saw, you know, Mark Cuban, the owner of the Dallas Mavericks, saying nobody will ever wear the number 24 ever again in Mavericks, and you know, players alike are retiring numbers.
Imagine not
league.
even retiring Dirk's number, but retiring Kobe's.
Well, Dirk's only been he's been retired for only a couple years,
Telling you,
but
Kobe's better.
than Dirk.
Yep.
But I kind of want to agree with you. I just think like there's so much more to Kobe's game than just on the court. It's incredible what he's
He was
done.
always the first one in the gym and the last one out of it.
Absolutely, and that's where the Mamba mentality came into perspective. That's what made Kobe different. Was no matter what he did, he had that mentality to go out there and do his best. He's the only player in NBA history to win, what was it, Oscar for the short film he wrote. And just watching that short film and just hearing him talk about, you know, basically what basketball has done for him. He said, "I'll always be that kid balling up trash and throwing it into the trash bin with 5 seconds on the clock." And that was one of those things that just hit me. It's like, I remember doing that when I was younger, you know.
Yeah, but who did you say doing it?
Who did I say was doing it?
Who did you say when you shot that
Kobe.
trash?
I've always said Kobe. Nobody ever said anything other than Kobe. And I love seeing the videos on social media of, like, there was this man in particular, we don't have the video, but he was teaching some class of what kids that I'd say aren't older than maybe 4 or 5 years old, to every time they shot the ball in the classroom to say Kobe. It was just, it's one of those things where people like us who saw Kobe play, who saw, you know, what he laid down, the legacy that he laid down, you know, we're going to be passing along those memories to our children, you know, at some point in our lives. And I just think that people are going to be doing that until the end of time, because Kobe, he's just simply one of the best players to ever grace a basketball court in the NBA. It's like I'm running out of words. That's how, like, heartbroken, you know, but everybody is. You know, nobody can say exactly what they feel because they feel so much, you know. And you know, we saw everybody's tributes on Instagram. We've posted a lot of them on our Instagram Playbook _Playbook.tv, which you can check for more sports updates and stuff like that. But we've been posting about Kobe a lot. And now the petitions to, I believe, over 2.8 million people have signed the petition. 20? Is it 20?
Sure it's 20 because the goal is like 30.
No, the goal, I think as of now, the goal is still 3 million. I looked at it earlier today,
Wow.
I think. But over 2.5 million people have signed the petition to make Kobe the NBA logo. I got to say, I'm all in favor of that.
I signed one yesterday of, I'm completely in favor of this one. Hanging Gigi's Bryant up next to Kobe's in the Raptors in the Staples Center. I'm all for that. Yes, she's not a Laker and stuff, but she's Kobe's daughter. She was going to make his legacy.
She was going to be the face of women's basketball. She really was, and you could see it because she was a lot like her father. She put in that workload, and Kobe raised her to do that, and everybody on that team that she played on as well. You know, we also, not even to mention the fact that I think there were 2 teammates of hers who also died in that helicopter crash, who we didn't mention, that I believe they were transporting to.
I don't remember the names of the victims.
I don't remember their names.
Our
either,
prayers go out to them as well and
absolutely.
their families.
It's just like, again, everybody who knew Kobe, whether it was closely or not closely, just everybody is rocked by this, and it's been a very sad couple days, not only just in the sports world but around the world itself. I mean, it's unreal, is what it is. I've ran out of words, honestly. I'm gonna be completely honest. I can't think of much more else to say.
I'm gonna go back to Devin Booker and Trae Young for a second, and because I didn't really go on about what happened around the league and stuff, besides like the 8-second violation, all that. But Booker and Trae Young both took 24 shots.
Mm-hmm.
They made 24 shots,
mm-hmm.
and they combined for 81 points. That's just
craziness.
It's unbelievable.
The amount of coincidences that have happened. I remember there was the kid.
The high school student scored 81 points.
Yeah, he scored 81 points in the game while wearing 24.
Kobe's.
I heard the one of the top high school prospects in the nation. I think his name is Mikey Williams. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on it now. I should know it. He got the tattoo 8 and 24 on his arms.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter.
The Hornets last night wore on their arm sleeves 8 and then 24.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna hate on Montboro Academy girls, but they lost to a girl wearing the shoes Kobe who hit a contested three-pointer with seconds left on the clock. I'm not gonna say anything, but like her number was 8. Just saying.
I think it's been crazy, and it's just like, again,
not 8-1. Sorry.
He's gonna have that legacy on us forever, and he truly changed basketball.
Just look what Philly did.
Yeah.
Everybody, doesn't matter who you were, every single player came out of the locker room wearing a number 8 or 24 Kobe Bryant Philly jersey, even though he never played for Philly, over their warm-up jerseys.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you know this, but during that game, on his 24th point,
mm-hmm.
I'm blanking on his name. Joel Embiid hit a fadeaway shot
and
said Kobe while he drained his shot for his 24th point.
And I believe Joel Embiid also wore 24 that game as well.
Yeah,
if I'm to be corrected on that. And people who have the people who have numbers 8 and 24, as we said, I think we've said already, are also changing the number.
We have Spencer Dinwiddie, who was number 8.
Mm-hmm.
He's changed to 22. And fun fact, Quinn Cook is now changing his number from 2 to 28, so he combines Gianna's number 2 and Kobe's number 8 and makes it 28.
Mm-hmm.
It's just amazing what people are doing now.
It's amazing, and I think that, again, I'm honestly lost for words. I really am. It's hard It's so hard to put into words what he's done for the league. And I've been saying forever that he's going to go down as one of the greatest. I mean, and that wasn't even looking at what he did in his family life. That was just looking at what he did on the court. But now I don't think there's a doubt in my mind he's top 3. Maybe even, I could honestly probably even consider him best of all time now. That's a bold statement, especially with the, but I think now is not the time to debate on who is the best. I think we should just appreciate what we have.
I don't think there shouldn't be a debate anymore.
No, there shouldn't.
Between Kobe, LeBron, or MJ, there shouldn't be a debate. Just acknowledge greatness when you see it.
People have been spending way too much time arguing on who's better, but everybody forgot the fact that, they're not, like, the time is limited, Everybody's time is limited, and we're wasting it debating on who is the best rather than just appreciate what they did. I'm out of words. I truly am. Do you have anything else to add, Tyler? Well, I guess we'll end it on this. As Kobe once said, heroes come and go, but legends, they are forever. I'm Josh Randall.
I'm Tyler.
Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.